Hi, welcome out to the Unscheduled podcast. I'm your host, Zach, along with the man, the myth, the meme, the legend, my friend, Javi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is. We're back for episode 31, I believe, of the podcast,
Yeah,
Zach.
I think so. Yeah, it's we're getting through them. We're getting through first 30 episodes, And as per usual, as we do quite a bit on this podcast, we have a guest today, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen,
Drum roll.
Yay!
not even waiting for the intro, she just jumps in. Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, if you may recognize that voice, the one wonderful, the lovely Miss Astrid.
Hi. Oh my god, tell me why I threw up a peace sign as if like there's actual people.
Oh my god.
Like I was
It's-
just like, hi with a peace sign, like embarrassing.
Oh my gosh. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Maybe on a live stream one day.
On the live stream, just throw up all the peace signs.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, no, but Astrid, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. Work's been kicking my butt, but that's because
Ooh.
I'm on my feet all day. But it's all right because money's coming in, and then that means there's more
There you
money to
go.
feed my cat.
Oh,
That's the
But
goal.
I think my days have just been like a lot of the same. Like I get up, I go to work, I work, come back home, and then I just kind of
Why-
rest for the rest of the evening.
Is
Yeah.
this how we set up for the midlife crisis?
oh Lord.
Is this like how the
Honestly-
setup begins?
I was thinking about it. Like it's only my third. It's about to be my fourth week of working, right? And I was
Yeah.
thinking about it. I was like, is this what my life is going to be? Just like get up, go to work, come home, and rest. Like, is it just? I was like, I can see why people have a midlife crisis like at
Yeah.
35
Gosh.
because
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just
no.
like it seems like a repetitive thing. But I will say to break the cycle a bit, I've been trying out new recipes and
Yeah,
everything. I actually started baking bread. So
Mhm.
Oh, are we coming back to that
yeah.
trend? Are we going back to
Oh,
that
I
trend?
remember that. Yeah. Not we're not trying to dog on you, Astrid, but I do remember at the beginning of Corona,
Yeah.
that was like a huge thing, like making like bread and just pastries in general. That was
Mhm.
like such a like that really did just like take over like social media. It was
Yeah.
like just the making of like bread and stuff like that.
Everyone was just making bread, and I'm like, y'all, we're not about to have the freshman 15.
my-
We're about to have the COVID 15.
It's the
Literally,
code 25.
Yeah, no,
I like to
seriously.
make bread because it makes me feel like a peasant woman back in the
Oh
day.
my
No
gosh.
responsibilities, no
Yeah.
work. I just dough.
Okay,
Just dough.
so this was not planned, as Unscheduled podcast records whenever at whatever time.
Yeah.
And officially, we are recording on the day that is officially 1 year after the fact of we went into lockdown. It is exactly 1 year today.
Wow.
It's exactly 1 year
Yeah,
today.
yeah, it is exactly
is-
1 year today.
That is
Yeah,
gross.
not to get too political, but I sure hope I really wish the lockdown kind of worked, you know?
Yeah,
I wish.
Yeah, I can't believe that has to be a
How I
political
wish people
statement.
would just stay home, wear masks.
Yeah, I wish the lockdown worked so we wouldn't be celebrating the year anniversary of the fucking
It's
lockdown.
like, that's the part that's
Like-
Happy
wild to me.
birthday, lockdown.
Like, parts of the world are completely back to normal, like
Oh my God.
like almost pre-COVID
God.
normal.
New Zealand.
Looking at you,
God.
New Zealand. Yeah.
New Zealand's
my
the star
gosh.
child right now. That's who I recognize them as.
my
I'm like, you did great, sweetie. You got to the top.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
America's like the bum cousin, Like everyone's just looking at us like you need to
America's
get your shit together.
America's that one like cousin who comes to Thanksgiving, and everyone's just like, "Oh, so you changed your major again?" And oh,
Wow.
you're changing you're making a new life choice and exploring another pattern.
Literally, America's that one guy who always responds to to your texts with like, "Oh my God, you're doing that without me." Like that's what I picture America
Yeah.
as.
Oh
Oh my
no,
gosh.
seriously, dead ass though. No. America's like that person who's just like, actually, and then just totally messes up the project y'all were working on.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. America didn't do their slide, and they still want credit. Essentially.
America didn't do their
basically-
slide, but wants their name to be first on the title
Yes,
card.
I
very
know,
much so.
yeah.
Ironically, I've had a person like that on a project before. So
Holy crap.
So
God. Speaking. Yeah.
no. Go ahead.
No, I'll just a little tangent. I've actually had group members where they didn't even want their names on the slides at all. They didn't even they didn't go to the they didn't even bother themselves to like ask me for their names on the slide. I would have, and the worst thing is like I have like no backbone. I'll be like, okay, yeah, fine, whatever. I'm not a
Yeah.
narc. I'm not a
Yeah.
narc. I'm not gonna say like your names can't be on the slides. I'm not gonna be that guy. But they
Yeah.
didn't even ask me. They just
Yeah.
completely dipped on the project and just left me and this other guy to our devices, and that's just like, okay, I
Jeez.
don't mind, I guess.
I've
mean-
actually. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, like, if they didn't even put their name on it, that's only credit to you two. That's what I'm hearing right there. They knew exactly
Yeah.
what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was in high school, I was in this project and there was this guy, I really didn't like him. He didn't
Oof.
like me either, but it was just me and my best friend and this guy we didn't like.
Yeah.
And he didn't answer to any text, he didn't respond to any emails. Like I even talked
Oof.
to like the teacher. I was like, "Hey, like he's not reaching out." And the teacher was basically like, high school teachers, they were like, "You know what? You're on your own. Like use your problem solving skills." So what did I problem solve? I literally the only thing he ever did for that project was on the Google Slides, he put his name on the title card. So what did I
Wow.
do? The day before the presentation, I took it off.
Wow.
I was
no.
like, absolutely not. This is your only contribution.
Oh my gosh.
F that nonsense. I just took it
Oh.
right off. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
teacher said to problem solve, and I problem solved.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. And that's the level of petty sometimes I strive for.
Yeah, no, honestly.
Like that is something of like you know who put in the work. Like if the name's not even
Yeah.
there, you know who put in the work.
And I know I did a good job because he didn't say a peep the entire time. He just didn't say
Wow.
anything. So I was
Yeah.
like, I did this for the girls and the gays. That's it.
The
There you
girls
go.
and the gays, the guys are not here.
Oh my god.
Oh, I stand that 100%, if we're doing group work stories real quick before we get into the rest of this, y'all remember when I had my whole group work problem going down? Astrid, you were in the middle, like you were like middle adjacent to that. Like
I was
that's what
literally drafting emails.
like, okay, just again another tangent. Astrid has writing emails of either complaints or like superficial things down to an art. It is incredible both watching her get to that work and reading them after the fact, because I was just like, damn, I didn't even expect this to be this professional or like this attacking, but I'm all here for it. I didn't even it's like she unleashed a level of anger within me through an email that I didn't even know I had.
Oh my
Wait,
god, let me
so what's the?
self-promote. Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh no, you go, you go.
Yeah, please.
Self-promote. You want an email written to an ex-lover, I got you. Your teacher not giving
wow.
you credit on an assignment that you rightfully did, I got you. Somebody beefing with you in class and you want the teacher to know, I got you. The Twitter handle is @bunbunbyun.
There you go.
She just charges like 50, just like $10 the email.
Literally,
Dude, that's
I
a
will
hustle.
I will literally accept $5 and you have to let me know how it goes. That's it. That's literally
the
it.
payment. That's the payment.
Honestly, yeah.
I would
Instead of like
I would dead ass hire her for that. Not even kidding.
instead of the extra $10, just give me the tea, and that's all. That's all it's for. Honestly.
There you go. There you go.
My life force is tea. That's it.
Yeah, I can see that.
But Zach, I have to ask, what's the context for this? Like, why do you bring that up?
Oh no, I was just okay. So what happened was what happened was so I was in a group, and it's the beginning of the year. It's the growing pains of getting to know groups and everything. So
Right.
here's what happened. So our groups decided, hey, these are all our roles, our jobs. Do all of this, get it done. Give it to the professor. He gave us our assignment, and we all took our sections of the slides. So
Right.
my job was research and produce my slide. Cool, I got it, no problem. So I'm always in class, like just doing my research, either on my laptop doing my research, paying attention to lecture, or just trying to do other work at the exact same time. My attention isn't always there, but that's neither here nor there. So I ended up doing my section. They
Right.
went 2 weeks without. We needed to hit like it was going to be a checkpoint project, so we hit one checkpoint, and then we turn in the final draft.
Right. Right.
2 weeks go by, not a peep from
My
any of
God.
them, not a single
Jesus
word. And I
Christ.
literally told them, hey, if there is a problem or something you need me to cover, let me know like a day beforehand, so I can actually let me know at least a day beforehand, so I can help you out and do some work.
Yeah. Yeah.
The literal night the checkpoint is due, they messaged me
My
saying,
God.
hey, why haven't you done this work? And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is my work right here. And I had receipts. Like, I have learned from that is one of the first things I ever learned from college, straight from Astrid herself. Keep receipts, because
Always.
they will save you so much trouble.
Yeah.
I showed them
It's
everything I had done.
it's literally gotten to the point where I have kept receipts since freshman year. Now, I don't talk to these
Wow.
people anymore. I absolutely don't. I have them on my phone. Why? Because I'm a hoarder, but we'll get to that in another episode.
Yeah, we'll cover that in the hoarder intervention episode.
Episode number 50. Tune in to episode number 50.
There you
That's when
go.
we talk about my hoarding problem.
There we go. We already have our episode
Yeah.
50 lined up right there. But so what ended up happening was they messaged back. Like, one person was really cool because they were very chill and laid back about the project, but they were also like, they were just kind of waiting to be told what to do, because like the best way to put it is they're not lazy or anything, they're just not entirely there. That's the best way to know. I don't know what they have.
Gotcha.
So I just know they're not entirely there, and my professor literally pulled me aside saying, hey, I put this person in your group because they need guidance, maybe you can help them. I'm like, cool, no problem.
Oh, Zach, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Was this in the was in this
Yeah, this
was
is
this in the
exactly this is exactly
okay,
that
yeah,
class.
we were in this class together. Okay, I think I know
Javi and I were in this.
I know exactly who you're going to complain about too, but carry on. Carry on,
yeah,
Zach.
Like,
Continue.
It's been so long, I don't even remember the names of like, I remember the name of the guy. I don't remember the name of the two girls we worked with, because I just don't remember. I don't remember problems. So
Ooh, okay.
I make it a
Hot
policy
takes.
to I make it a policy to not remember something that like really wasn't that significant or a problem. But anyway, I digress. So we ended up they ended up saying like, oh, you need to do this work, then one of them has the audacity to send me a text saying, oh, why not just do it in the middle of class, you're always on your laptop anyway. And I'm like, hold up, I'm actually doing my work in class, I'm actually getting all my stuff done and paying attention, but you want to call me out on this?
Bro, yeah, no.
That's the thing. Women's pants don't have a lot of pockets,
Yeah.
but I don't need those pockets to hold my audacity. I would have literally absolutely messed their entire life up. You know what I mean? Like, I would have been like, you dare have the balls to say that to me?
No,
Yeah.
honestly, and like the thing is, like, why would she even talk to you like that in the first place? She's your
Yeah.
classmate, and like in your groups as well. It's
Yeah,
like, why would you?
Keep in mind, this is in a group chat, and in that same group chat, I had literally said a few days ago, hey, if you need me to do anything, just give me a day's notice. It was still within
Oh
that
my
same
gosh.
thread of, and that's how little they actually texted. So then this
My
other girl,
gosh.
she is I want to say a type A. The type A personality has to take over the project, and only they're the leader. Literally what our professor told us at the beginning of the semester, he was literally like, don't let one person take control of the entire project. And that's exactly what she
Bruh.
did. So I'm just like, okay. So we ended up doing the entire project. We ended up finishing it. I did my section and only my section, because still no one ever told me, hey, this is what we need you to do. No one reached out to me, no one talked to me. I just built upon my sections, did it, that was it, I was done. And they still didn't even finish it until like literally the last minute, the morning the project was due.
Wow.
And so this is where Astrid comes in, because I kept the receipt of that text, showed it to Astrid, and she wrote this beautiful, professionally destroying email straight to my professor. And I'm just like, I didn't know.
Did it over lunch.
Yeah, that's like, the speed she does it at is also amazing. Like, it was literally just lunch and that was it. that was.
I
I'm just
li-
like,
I literally wrote that, not knowing a lot of the details, just like bits and pieces, because he filled me in on the details later. But I remember I was literally eating lunch and I stopped eating. I literally was like, "You want me to destroy a person's career? Okay, fine." Like,
Mm.
push the lunch aside, just type that email out real quick, then went right back to my lunch.
yeah, it was amazing and it's such a threatening aura at the same time. So after
Like,
that,
I didn't choose to be a hero. The
you
hero
really
life
didn't.
chose me.
Exactly. But like right after that, she like we just like we send in the email. The professor let me change groups. I worked with 2 other guys, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry you had to work with them." Because like in the presentation, like let me finish that up. In the presentation, like the girl who I told you was like type A and like took over the entire project. She did everyone else's slides, like she talked about it, but guess whose slide she didn't talk about? Mine, because I did my slide. I did my shit. I did my entire section. No one, I did it. I did my research. I did everything. We presented that shit. Then afterwards, the professor is just like, "Hey, yeah, you can change groups. Here's your new group. I'm sorry you had to deal with them." And so, like for the rest of the semester, I worked with that group. They were pretty chill. Like no real problems that I can think of. But to end up that story, that same girl who sent me my text, she didn't even finish that class that semester. She didn't even make it halfway through.
Wow. Jesus.
Bruh.
Yeah, like I
Now
remember.
that's a bruh moment.
That is a bro moment.
Like I remember I was literally sitting with Javi in class one day, and we're just like, wait, we haven't seen this person in a while. And then the professor, no, I think wasn't the professor, but I think it was the guy from the other group I worked with. He's like, oh yeah, she dropped like not even halfway through the semester.
Damn, she could. It's funny because she was making fun of you. She was basically making fun of you for being in class and like looking at your laptop, but she couldn't even be
Yeah.
bothered to just come in class and sit and shit. Like it's like,
Yeah.
bruh, like really, like,
Yeah.
like, bruh.
I'm just like, you want to
seriously, no.
reevaluate yourself there?
Bruh, oh no,
Yeah.
that really was a bro moment.
Yeah. And but anyway, back to our main topic at hand. Like as much as it's fun going down memory lane.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's been exactly 1 year since quarantine has started. So let that sink in. At the time of this recording, it's been 1 year. That's wild to me. It hurts and it's wild.
Size in Espanol. Like,
Yeah, no.
Size in multiple languages. God. Okay. But here's the thing. I would say COVID has not been a lot of people here. At least amongst our friends, as solo as we've been, we've made up for it in a lot of ways too.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Like thanks to Among Us, Discord, video chat nights, just hanging out, like freaking Halloween movie night, all of that. Thanks to that, we're all good. Like we've hung in there. It's been tough, but we've hung in there.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it depends obviously on the person, but I personally don't think Discord can necessarily replace the value of meeting with people in person and
Right,
having that sort of
right.
personal bond.
Of course.
But it definitely has been a valuable resource and being able to still be like connected with the people that you really care about during these times because how there's no saying, well, obviously it's something we have to think about now because thankfully it never happened, but like think about like what happened if we didn't have resources like this. Let's stay connected during like a quarantine where people are very isolated and can't really see each other that well.
Oh, very much
It's
so.
pretty
Like, yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah. 100% agree. I
I
think
think.
No, go ahead, Astrid. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, going off on a little tangent. I think it's gonna be really difficult. Like, I think we've been able to keep in touch for so long, like electronically. Like, I think it's been a full year since I've seen like most of the friend group.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Absolutely.
I think it's gonna be really difficult, especially for me, for someone who's like immunocompromised, to like just get back out there and want to go see you guys. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
even like
agree.
after the golden day when like there's no more COVID, it's like I would find it difficult to like go out and see even like my closest friends because I don't know, it just something about it doesn't sit right. Like I was even talking about it with my mom the other day. I was like, It's weird to
Mhm.
me to see people without masks on. Like in the
Yeah.
comfort of my
Oh,
home with the people I
yeah.
live with, it's
Oh,
like I see their
really?
face all the time. However, when I went to work, when I started working, I had not seen any of my coworkers' actual faces for an entire week because I would get to eat lunch so late.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just like would go and eat in the break room by myself. But then like this girl joined me and I had literally only seen her with her mask on. So when she took her mask off, I was like, yo, what the heck? I was like, "That's what you look like," and
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
like she yelled at me right back. She was like, "You have a nose piercing," and I was like, "Yeah, I." Like to me, it
Wow.
was just such a natural fact, you know.
Yeah.
She was like kind of amazed about it. So I don't know.
You know what we're
I think
kind of
it's gonna be
having?
hard.
You know, in a way, we're kind of having like that reverse. Like before COVID was a thing, it's kind of like the reverse of, you remember the Snapchat filter dilemma, or like all the filters and stuff, how like people were comparing themselves so much, the
Mhm.
filters they would throw on like their cameras and selfies and everything.
Mhm.
We're
Mhm.
kind of hitting that level now where it's like, are people gonna want, and like, and then this is my mind, like I'm only theorizing here, are people gonna like now, I feel like people are now gonna either embrace taking the masks off, or they're gonna want to seriously keep them on, and because they're so
Mhm.
Yeah.
scared of just like either taking the mask off, or like kind of showing themselves off to the world now. Like it's a weird thing. I'm not saying it's exactly gonna happen, but it seems like something that will definitely
Yeah.
come out of this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's just say there's certainly a large section of people in this country that won't skip a beat to take off their masks. Let's just put
Oh,
it as
very much
that.
so. Yeah. And
Um,
it's just like there are people who just don't want to wear masks, period. And I'm like, you are the problem. You're getting angry at everyone else, but you're the problem. You just don't want to see that.
Oh yeah. I
my
um
goodness.
I remember I went to Walmart the other day, right?
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
had walked in like on my own and I saw this guy, right? But for some reason, I couldn't tell what was wrong with him, you know? Like that sounds really awful, but it'll
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, what is wrong with this guy? Like there's something weird about him. It's really funny, but I swear it gets a point. Like I should not be canceled, just wait.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
just like, yo, like what is up with this guy? And I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. So then
Mhm.
I like he like went away and then I see him like across the store and I'm like, there's still something really wrong. Like what is and then I see an employee walk up to him and is like, "Sir, you need to have a mask on."
Oh
I
my
was like,
Oh my
god.
the
gosh.
weird thing to me was the fact that I was looking at his plain face and I was like, yo, what is happening?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That is
It
definitely,
really
that is a weird side effect of like
dude, it
the life we
shook me
Yeah.
to
live.
my core. I'm not gonna lie. It really shook me because I was like, I before this, like I could look at somebody's plain old
Yeah.
face in public and be like, that's just their face. Like I don't think
Yeah,
about it
yeah, yeah.
twice. But now,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like I see people taking their masks off in the parking lot, and I'm like, oh my god, gasp! It's
Yeah.
like the equivalent of like the founding fathers seeing an ankle. You know, like that's the equivalent to me. Like I was just like, yo, oh my god.
No, like
Bruh, the
seriously though,
indecency.
there is something to be said about that, because like it's so weird to me now. So I'm just a quick dive into me. Like every morning at like 8, between like 8:30 and 9:30, I go out for like a 2-mile walk, just getting a little exercise every morning.
Mhm.
I have to wear my mask now when I do it. Like I have
Absolutely.
gone like once or twice without my mask walking it, but if I run into
Mhm.
anyone else like while I'm on my path, I feel like such a heathen for not wearing my mask.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
like, if I go on a walk and I see like, thankfully, I live in an area where I can, like, see people from far away.
Yeah.
So, like, if I see someone coming towards me, I just put it on, but, like, yeah, no, if I just, like but, yeah, no, I totally see where you're getting from.
Like that's just it for me. It's like I cannot go without my mask, at least on this, because I'm like, I don't know the risk of either me giving it to someone, because you never know if you're asymptomatic, or someone just immediately giving it to
Mhm.
me. And it's like, I get it.
God,
I get
yeah.
it if someone's walking outside and they don't have a mask on. Logically, that should make sense. But at the same time, it's such a weird thing in my head of like, it's such a like clutched pearls moment of like they're not wearing a mask, even though like there's no one around them and they're outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
I
like,
mean,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
no, you could go ahead, Javi.
no, I was just gonna say, like, my heart kinda, like, literally drops when I see some people, like, in public, like, not wearing a
Yeah.
mask. And it's that's the thing, right? Like we're talking about, is like we've been trained our whole lives to see the absence of a mask and be like, okay, that's fine, that's normal, because like the
Yeah,
mask was
yeah,
not like given a thing, especially here in the United States. Though I should clarify, like here, that's not like part of our culture. Wearing a
yeah,
mask when you're
yeah,
sick or anything like that. It's just not really part of our culture. But like now that we've been like, it's been ingrained into our minds that like no mask equals kind of like bad in a way.
yeah,
It's very strange to not the absence of a mask can have such a profound effect on us.
yeah, yeah. And like, kind of on a weird tangent real quick, like I remember I used to watch anime, and those scenes where like you see someone in a face mask, glasses, and like a baseball cap, and it seems like they're like being like inconspicuous as possible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if that was over here, y'all would think that is like one of the most sus, like probably some pervert or pedophile or something.
Absolutely.
Like someone dressed like that, like hands down, that wouldn't be a second thought. But now you can look at someone literally dressed like that, and it's no longer weird. It's just, oh hey, they're actually following the rules, and it's such a weird mind flip to me.
They're following the guidelines.
Yeah.
Another thing I've noticed, like kind of like tagging onto what Javi said, was that sometimes I feel like shame if I'm not wearing a mask. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I guess to further, like, because I live in a big city, let's put it that way, kind of big.
Yeah.
So I park like right across the street from my apartment complex. So
Okay.
I don't think to wear a mask from my apartment to my car, because it's literally just like crossing the street.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if I make it to my car without seeing anybody, I feel fine. But if I see someone, like, I'm immediately scrambling to see if I have a mask. And if I don't, I just immediately like grab my shirt and put it over my face. Like, I know my shirt's not gonna do anything.
Oh,
I'm just like,
I get that. I get that.
and I feel kind of like, like in the old days, how like girls would have fans to cover their faces. Like for me, it's like, yo, a part of me goes like, you're doing this for other people's safety. But then, there's that little voice in the back of my head that's like, oh my God, he's gonna see your face. Like you need to hide that.
No, I get it. I get it.
That's for home only.
No, honestly. Yeah.
For home only, man. So like along that same train of thought, for me, what I've actually like realized is just like the masks thing is just, I don't know anymore if someone is genuine about whether or not they're like not wearing a mask, because like I've gone around with my family from time to time, and like my dad has gone into places, and he's just honestly forgotten about a mask, because it's like the masks are so light that you don't always know if you're wearing one or not, and it doesn't obstruct his vision or anything. Like he's not wearing glasses or anything, he has no problems. But then suddenly like he's gone into a business before. He walked he went to a bank. He walked straight up to the teller, no mask. The teller didn't even say anything, and then he suddenly realized, oh shit, I don't have my mask, and immediately ran back to the car. And so it's like, I want to believe there are some people who make honest mistakes like that, but then you see like those same people online or on the news or anything, who are literally getting belligerent because they're being asked to wear a simple piece of cloth for maybe an hour or two.
Yeah.
Bruh. Like every thankfully this doesn't really happen to me, but like every time I go out, I'm like, and I'm not wearing a mask, or like go for a walk and I have to like put it on. I'm always afraid people thinking I'm like an anti-masker or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like it's so fucking weird. Like, because kind of like what you guys alluding to. Like, if there's no one around, then yeah, sure, why not? Fuck it, I don't care. It's like there's no reason to be really worried.
Yeah.
Like if I see someone and they're like they're across the street or something like that, and they see I'm not wearing a mask, I'll just be like, oh fuck, they think I'm like an anti-masker or some shit.
They could literally be across the street, a couple blocks away, but the moment you make eye contact with them, it's like, oh, I'm not wearing a mask.
Wearing a mask.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's something to be said about that. Like I mean, as much as a weird thing as it is, at this point, this is pretty much a new normal. Like, there's a level of shame, believing that someone thinks you're an anti-masker, or someone believes that you're like not trying to do your part and stuff. But then I don't know what's worse. I don't know if I think I would feel worse in my head that instead of someone believing I was an anti-masker believing I was one of them.
Ah, no. Ooh, I just got Yeah, that sound like a chill down my spine. Oh god,
Yeah.
Mhm.
no.
That's what I think I would fear worse. Like I would not want that, period. Like I don't
Don't let
want.
them don't let them oppress you, brother. You're
Oh my
fighting the good fight,
god.
man, or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And I'm just like, look, I already have enough problems. I don't need you becoming a new one.
God, you
Like
gotta.
I just couldn't deal with that. Like I mentally feel like I would just blue screen right then and there.
Blue
Oh my god.
screen.
If someone tries to get you into the sect of like an anti-mask, you just have to pull out the Curio moves, Zach.
Oh my
Just gotta pull
god.
out those
Oh my
you gotta pull out that
god.
you gotta pull out that Dragon of Dojima.
Oh my
No
god.
anti-mask for me.
Oh my god. Like that's just it though. It's like I think genuinely that's worse though for me. Believing instead of someone thinking I'm an anti-masker thinking I'm one of them.
God, no. That'd be awful.
Solidarity, bro.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god,
Goodness
like
gracious.
this is a complete side note, but
Yeah.
I think like at the start of the pandemic when you were I don't know if you guys remember, but like there was this big like shortage on hand sanitizer or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
places that
absolutely.
would
Yeah,
make alcohol would start making hand sanitizer.
Yeah, of
I,
course.
I walked
Mm.
into a CVS, right? And I walk into the CVS and then I'm like, oh, hand sanitizer. And I pumped some into my hand and it smelled just like
Oh.
Everclear. And I
Dude,
remember
oh my god. Okay.
I literally
dude,
like kind of gagged in my mouth because I was like, oh my god, so many
yo,
flashbacks.
dude. Okay. So I was talking about I don't know if it was Zach or someone else, but
Yeah.
no, actually, Zach, do you remember I was talking about this? Doesn't it seem like ever since coronavirus started that the quality of hand sanitizer has just gone down drastically?
Oh,
It feels
100%.
so
Yeah.
much worse.
Yes, we
Like
have
Yes.
talked about this because
it's
okay, so we went out one day to do I think it was wasn't the Mario episode, but we were doing like we were trying to do a food episode and stuff
yes,
or something like that. We were trying to get that done. We went
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
got food, and then it was this like we got some hand sanitizer. It was like this weird watered down somehow, but yet sticky at the exact same time. Like even though you rub it
Yes.
away,
Oh.
your hands still feel sticky. And it's that worst sticky that gets between your fingers. Like it's not just on your
Ooh.
palm, it's
Very
between
weird.
your fingers, and it adds a whole new level of gross to it.
That
Yeah,
makes me really
I don't
upset.
yeah, I don't remember it being like particularly like bad smelling, but it was definitely a very potent like alcohol smell.
Oh yeah,
Like it was very
100%.
strong.
100%. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just sometimes it'd be knocking the wind out of my lungs because for the first couple of months like I would go to like a store and then pump it into my hands and then it was so strong and then it would just take me back to like this October of freshman year and then I would need a minute to sit down like I'd be like oh my lord and nowadays like I was honestly gonna like be like oh another conspiracy theory episode because I've also noticed like I went to the same CVS and they had the same jug of hand sanitizer but it was like a
Mhm.
new one that I
Yeah.
pumped I pumped it out into my hand and it didn't smell like anything and I was like this is
Oh no.
like
Hmm.
somebody right here and then I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
seeing I don't remember what grocery store it was at, but the hand sanitizer was in this big jug, but it pumped out and it looked like water. Like
Yeah,
it looked
okay.
like
I've
water,
seen
and then the
those.
bottom of the jug had something white like at the bottom, and I was like,
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about because there are some restaurants who do that exact same thing, and I'm just like, I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, I think the hand sanitizer is at the bottom there. Like, I think it all settled at the bottom, and yet you're getting like this like weird water runoff that you just
It's
have
like
no explanation for.
it's like hand sanitizer adjacent, you know?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
seriously.
Goodness gracious.
And I'm just like, this is such a weird thing to have here, and so I'm just like, why is it like, and it bothers me so much. Like it'll just be there.
Yeah, this is just a very uneducated take, but my thing has always been like maybe because of like the start of the pandemic, maybe like the threshold or like the quality assurance for like hand sanitizer has gone down just to like meet the need for like hand
Yeah.
sanitizer. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know if that's gonna actually
I
work
mean,
a thing.
I feel like we've now gotten to the place though where we're no longer like undersupplied. On the contrary, I think we're actually like wasn't there a report the other day where there were too many masks now? Like
I
companies were
didn't know
making
about
too
that.
many masks.
I know
I
that there's a thing where there's like there's too many masks in landfills now. I know that.
Really?
Yeah, I know
Wow.
that's been a
Okay.
Yeah.
problem because
That
it's
makes
like,
sense. Yeah.
well, it's like it's recyclable material, but you're wearing these masks, so you can't recycle them. What do you do? And they're all made
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
plastic.
Yeah, they're all single use as well. Like most of the ones that people what they sell is single use as well. So
Yeah, so that's why I only
it's
use
interesting.
reusable now, because I'm like, okay, I have a
Hmm.
couple reusables, wash them, and then back at it again with them.
God, how much you want to bet there's like some like mask company out there that like prides themselves on the fact that it's like reusable and like like
Oh,
environmental friendly
we
like
could
mask
probably
shit
find
like
that
that.
if we really
Like
wanted to.
I
We could
they're
definitely find
probably
that.
there's probably a company out there that's like I forgot the exact terminology about it.
Yeah.
One of the people in my capstone talked about it, but like the
Yeah.
advertising of like environmentally friendly things that are like not actually that good for the environment. They're
Yeah.
just meant to be more like palatable to like people that are looking for that kind of product.
Yeah.
It's yeah, no, it's weird.
I mean, but you want to know, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again. You want to know who was ready for this virus? You want to know who was ready?
Mm.
Weebs. Weebs were 100% ready for this virus.
Oh boy.
You know, that is facts. That is tea.
You see,
They're rejoicing. They might not, get bitches, but they're safe from the pandemic.
Yeah, they're living. That's what they're doing. They're
yeah,
alive.
damn. I wish I was more of a weeb before pandemic. Maybe I wouldn't have had COVID. That would have
Oh,
been really good.
jeez. Oh, no, Javi, no. Damn.
Yeah.
Hot takes.
God damn. But it's like I literally remember we were having discussions about this like before COVID was like a month or two before COVID really hit over here. Like, because
Mhm.
I wore my masks regardless because of just how freaking cold it gets around here. Because
Mhm.
sometimes we can get like single digit weather within during the middle of winter. So I would wear my
Yeah.
masks in the morning, and then I remember people were just like, why are you wearing a mask? And I'm just like, it's freaking cold. And it's like, when else are you gonna use this mask? Well, here we are now.
You showed them,
God,
Zach. You really showed
Honesty
them.
hour. Honesty
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
To,
Okay.
to the listeners out there, I was one of the people who clowned Zach for wearing those masks. He had a black mask with like it was like a weird smiley face, and
Yeah,
the
I still
teeth
have it
were all
too.
pointed.
Yeah.
And I remember telling him, I was like, "Yo, when the hell are you gonna use this? You're just advertising that you're a weeb." And I remember clowning him because we would walk to class together, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, "You're wearing that damn mask again." Here I am, formally apologizing for.
Yeah.
You know what? No, I don't apologize for clowning him, but it's funny. It's funny that you brought it up because now that I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah,
This-
no. It was
this
really
is-
funny too because like right before like all of COVID hit and everything, a couple people had actually asked me to order them masks too, because they just like the
Wow.
designs and everything. And so I got them their masks literally like 2 weeks before like our school was shut down.
Mm.
And so I'm just like, huh, okay, guess you're protected in time.
I just think it's really funny.
But okay, so looking back on this year now, looking back on a year of COVID, so I want to ask you this because my last day was kind of memorable for all the wrong reasons. What was what was your memory from when our last day on campus or anything and everything shut down that day? What was your last memory? Like or like the last time you were on campus, last time before you remember that COVID was officially announced and everything shut down and we've just been in our houses for a year. I'll go first if you guys need some time to think on this. Because
Well,
I remember exactly where I was.
Well, not to flex, but I wasn't on campus by the time COVID hit. That wasn't
Okay,
like a
that's
thing.
fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
that's more of like a you and Astrid thing.
Okay, but just okay.
Um,
What were your what was your last memory before COVID was like the country officially announced lockdown?
I remember actually my mom. No, okay, no. So I remember. Well, I don't remember exactly because like COVID was the thing before they announced the lockdown, obviously.
Yeah,
So before the lockdown, we knew that my cousin from Costa Rica was actually gonna come stay with us,
yeah,
and that was really weird because like he came in just under the wire before they stopped letting people into the country.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it was really interesting. So I think that was like the last thing I kind of vaguely remember was like him coming in. Um, he was someone I had met before, but I couldn't really remember. And then yeah, that's just basically like my last memory of like pre-lockdown was like kind of being worrying, like what the fuck is gonna happen? This
Yeah.
guy, we don't even know if this guy can actually even come to the country. I was like, okay, we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. What
I
about you,
think
Astrid?
I think for me is I remember I was working the last day I was on campus.
Oh
And I
wow.
was sitting at the desk and I was talking to my boss, and my boss was like, "Yeah, I'm not really sure if we're gonna close down. It doesn't seem like the pandemic has actually hit the
Yeah.
US yet."
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said that, and I told him, I was like, "I've already started to stockpile some stuff. Like, I've always
Mm,
been the
Yeah.
kind to like buy extras of things. So like if I go to the store, instead of buying one conditioner, I'll buy like two so that I have some left over." Because like I don't like going to the store that much anyways, but that's not the point. So
Yeah.
I remember
mhm.
my boss was like, "Oh, like you're just paranoid. You're thinking too much about it. Like
Oh,
if we just
I
like,
feel like I know exactly who said that to you too. I feel like I know exactly who
exact
said that to you.
I think you also know exactly who said that to me,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I remember just being like, I would rather be paranoid than to be caught blindsided. Because before
Right.
the pandemic like hit, I remember stockpiling up on toilet paper and paper towels.
Yeah.
And I think that was just lucky, but I remember like there had been talk in the office about like whether or not they were going to close down school for spring break. So I remember I got off of my shift, and as I was walking to my car, I checked my phone because a notification went off, and then I saw the email saying that they were going to close down earlier. It was like before spring break
Yeah.
that they were going
Yeah.
to close down the school early, and then that's the last I remember. Like that's like the absolute last I remember
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
like I knew it. Like I knew it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only thing that really jumps out because my boss was like, it's nothing. Like you don't have to worry about it. But
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
back of my head, I was like, this is gonna be a bigger problem than we think it is. And
Yeah.
like, if we don't do something now, we're gonna be caught in the shit. And
Yeah.
here we
So
are, 1 year later.
no, seriously though. Okay,
Hmm.
so I remember my last thoughts before COVID like truly hit us. And I'll admit to this mistake. I'll
Yeah.
admit to this. And karma got me back, and
Okay.
I'll let you know that in a moment. But I remember when it
Mm,
first came out, like we were doing media analysis of this stuff, like in my classes, because that's my major and stuff. Media and
yeah.
comms. We were taking a look at this, and so at the time, I didn't think it was as big of a problem. I thought we would be back in 3 weeks. That's what I literally thought when they told us to shut down, because I was just like, no way the school is going to let us lose that money. And then on top of that, the way the media was handling at the time was such a mismanage of it. They were like, there was one big claim here one day and then a massive retraction the next.
Mm-hmm.
And so like in my book, I was like, okay, clearly it's a lot of people talking out of their ass. They're blowing it up more than than a bigger problem than it should be. And some people were like, I don't want to say they were blowing it up more than they should. They were making it a problem. They just weren't giving the right details on the problem thing.
Yeah.
So at that point, like at that point, I just didn't trust the news and everything. And, it's like, we'll be back in 3 weeks. This will be under control. I have faith that the government will at least have things in place. There was another mistake I made. I have faith in the government.
Oh, yeah, no, Zach. Yeah.
That this will be under control. People will be dealing with it. They're going to have it under as much wraps as possible. And then, one thing leads to another, and I find out we're in quarantine. So then here's the karma to that. Here's the karma to that. My literal last memory of before leaving campus was I worked my job that day. I worked a 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. shift. Getting my last 5 hours of work in. And then I got food poisoning that same night / into the day.
Oh no,
Oof.
I
dude.
got severe food poisoning. And luckily I was being picked up and everything. Like I wasn't drawing myself back or anything. I got picked up, got brought home. I got taken care of. But for those like next 2 days, I was just destroyed by that stomach, by the food poisoning. And so I just remember that was my last time. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take this for not believing this virus is much of a deal. This is an unrelated problem, but I feel like this is karma getting me in some weird universal way. And I accepted that. I'm
The
just like,
Lord vibe checked you. That's what
yeah,
he
no,
did.
seriously.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Seriously, like I remember
Honestly,
I woke
yeah.
up I woke up at like 4 a.m. that morning and my stomach was just like, you are not gonna have a good day. You are going to have a horrible, terrible day.
If you're waking up at 4 a.m. for anything other than like doing something you planned on doing at 4 a.m., I feel like that's just like the harbinger of like death. I feel
Yeah,
like it's
no,
like
seriously. I was just like, And you know, like at first I thought, you know, okay, maybe it's just, you know, maybe it's just some morning, you know, like waking up pains and stuff. Because like I've woken up
Mhm.
before and my stomach's just hurt because, you know, I didn't get any food in it, and that's happened to me before where I've woken
Oh,
up and it's just
gotcha.
like, oh, you're awake, okay, time for food. What, you're not feeding me? Okay, I'm gonna start hurting. But no, it kept
Oh
going
gosh.
throughout the day, and I'm just like, oh, this is a problem. This
Mm.
is a problem, and this is not gonna get any better. So that ended up happening, and then, you know, I ended up going home, and again that weekend, like that was literally the start of our official start of our spring break, and then we never came back. We never went back. And then
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
we had the whole like problem of trying to get our stuff off of campus and bringing it back.
Yeah. So I mean, so Zach, if you don't mind, I actually want to ask you two a question in particular.
Yeah, sure.
Um, what was it like for you guys? Like, at what point did you guys like realize, or like, how did you guys feel about your kind of like college campus experience being cut short by COVID? Because obviously, you guys stayed, in college, going to classes and stuff like that. But how did it feel like? Well, I mean, I think Astrid, you still like worked and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
On campus. Yeah, but like you didn't really have like the rest of like the normal like kind of things you'd usually have as well. So how did like how what was that experience like for you guys?
Um.
You can go first, Astrid, if you have your thought.
Ooh, well, we're gonna formulate the thought as we go.
Okay.
But for
Okay.
for me, like I wasn't living on campus anymore, so it was
Mhm.
kind of a different kind of campus experience. But I feel two ways about it. Like I'm very indecisive, could never make up my mind. But on one hand, I was kind of thankful, because like
Mm.
getting up
Interesting.
and then having to drive to campus, traffic, finding parking in like what little parking they have on campus, and then like rushing to class, see like a whole lot of people. Like a lot of these things were things that I did not enjoy doing, but had to do because I wanted to get that degree.
Yeah.
Right, gotcha.
Um,
Yeah. Not
but
to mention your
also,
job on top of that.
yeah, and then on top of that, having to work. So I was on campus like super early and I wouldn't get back home until super late. So it was like, man, wish I could just stay home. Kind of regret saying that. But also it was
God.
I, I was kind of thankful because I didn't have to pay a whole lot of money for a cap and gown, you know?
There
Yeah.
You
you go.
know?
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
But
agree.
on
Yeah.
I
on
agree with
the
that.
on the other side of things, I feel like I have definitely been cheated out of spending time like more time with like my friends, like we would go down to
Yeah.
the we would take the bus and just go anywhere.
Yeah.
And we would just like all hang out together and be like it would be 8 of us in one study room, just like hanging out doing things together.
Yeah.
And I do like as much as I'm like, I didn't really want to walk at graduation, it would have been nice for my parents, it would have been nice for them
Mm.
to
Yeah.
see that.
I
So
agree.
like on one hand, I'm very like, yay, like it's over, it's done. Like I'm at a like at a better place in my life, but on the other hand it's like I definitely wouldn't have taken the first semester for granted if I had known that it would be like my last semester like on
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
campus.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like I think for me what it was I remember at first, like I told you, I didn't think it was as big as a deal as it was until, you know, like that official announcement and everything.
Mhm.
And so like I kind of at the very beginning of quarantine, I took it more as a vacation because I still expected us to go back to campus, but then once they actually
Mhm.
told us of the actual severity of everything, and UMB and you know the school announced that we would be getting refunds at that point, I was like, oh shit, this is not
Wow.
going away anytime
Yeah.
soon, because the fact that they
Mhm.
were willing to take the loss on the money willingly,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Yeah.
when when higher education decides to, like, cut, like, money, that's, like, when you know shit's serious, like,
oh yeah,
oh
and
my
Yo,
that's
I
where
got
I'm
a
gosh.
like
straight 8 hundo from that. 8 hundo.
I got some good
Damn.
money back from that, and I'm like, oh
At
my
what
god,
cost?
they just gave us back our money.
Oh
What
my
the
god,
hell? And
yeah.
I was just like, wait, they gave us back our money and there was no lawsuit? So
There was no lawsuit.
I mean, seriously. And then like on top of that, it was just uh, it didn't feel like too big of a change at first as well, because it's like I didn't have like too many friends still on campus anymore. I had a few friends on campus, but most were commuters by that point. some had graduated, and I was kind of, in a weird way, I was almost by myself. Like, had it not been for maybe a handful of people constantly on campus, I was a little bit alone there.
Interesting, yeah.
So at first it didn't really feel like a change, but as it gone on, and like what I started realizing, wow, I take even the smallest of interactions and people I see for granted, and it's like,
Absolutely, yeah.
for me, it's like one of the biggest things I missed was something Astrid and I would do, like every Friday we would try to have brunch together, just because we didn't see each other that often, and that was taken away from us, and I'm just like, oh shit, I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah. Wow. Really thinking about it, like, because the day we got out for early spring break wasn't a Friday. So if we had really thought about the last brunch we had together as being the last brunch, like,
Yeah,
what would we have done differently?
I feel like
Like,
we
wow,
probably
that's
would have gone
crazy.
big. We definitely would have gone big. That goes without saying. Like, we probably would have hit up.
Absolutely.
We probably would have hit up Iron Age. We could have hit up like any of the food places we had around the area. Like we would have gone big and just been like, what, we're not seeing each other for a while. Okay, we're actually dropping like $50 on this meal a piece.
Yeah, literally. And thinking about it, like, after we got out and then we never went back, like, I didn't go back to work until July, like the end of July. So I had literally
Wow.
spent
Yeah.
like approximately 5 months at home. Wait, yeah.
Oh no, for me, like I don't want to
Yeah.
say I lost my job, more like I was kind of forced out of my job because like
Yeah.
they were like, hey, you can come back to work. We're just not going to pay you any risk pay. And I was like, I was like, I want to say pseudo frontline worker at that point. Like, it was frontline adjacent. For me, I'm just like, if you're not going to pay me extra and I have a higher risk of already getting the virus being there, and then I have family who is like immunocompromised, there's no way I'm going back to work. No way. And so
I took that risk. Like, you left that job, but I snatched that job right up. I was
no,
like,
you
zero
did.
risk pay. Mm.
I mean, and you did. You got it, and that's no problem. But at the same time, like I ended up like, it was also like, it would have been a 45 minute to an hour commute for me every single day if I tried to do the job. And there are graveyard shifts to that job too.
Oh yeah.
And doing the math for me, I'm like, I'm literally spending like all the money I would earn to get during that time, I would lose just on gas alone.
Yeah, that's very true. I think I'm just fortunate because I live so close to
Yeah,
school.
yeah, and so when I heard you got the job, I'm like, that's great, that's awesome, you get the job. But for me, I'm like, there's no way in hell I could do it. There was too much minus for me out of getting any plus from that. And so, like, once I realized I didn't have to go back to campus, I just didn't do it. At the same time, though, like, after some time, I would say about maybe, let's say, 6 weeks to 2 months, I was sick of being at home. Just like I'm still tired of being at home, to be honest. I can't really. I've more accepted the fact that
Yeah, no, absolutely.
the moment I get the chance to get out of here and kind of be on a lot more on my own, I will do that. But right now, I know that's not gonna work for me in my current.
Yeah.
But I think more than anything is just I miss seeing my friends. Like thankfully, we have technology, we have Discord calls, we have phones and everything, where we can all keep up with each other. But for me, had it not been for that, I feel like I genuinely would have gone over the deep end.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
other
this
thing,
is so sad.
no, and the other thing for me is, like, you guys know, for me, I would always hold two big get-togethers every year. One from, like, we did it for like the last 2 years, and I thought we were gonna go for a third year, but unfortunately, we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I would always invite people for my birthday because I just love having, like, I don't care about presents, I care about people. That was it for me. And I just wanted to have all my friends there as much as my house could feasibly hold. And we had a decent amount of space, we had a decent amount of things we do. And then it was always the summer get together too. We just had fun, I would feel, for the most part. Like, we would all meet up and we would just hang out, have fun. And people would even get to see each other again that they hadn't seen each other in a while,
Yeah. Wow.
And then after that, it's like, I was still ready for that because I thought, okay, I'm like, okay, you know, the WHO, CDC are saying if we get our shit together, this will be done in about 3 months. We'll be at
Yeah.
least on a stable level. People will be able to
Mhm.
see each other again. And I'm like, okay, that seems like a reasonable amount of time. I can wait for that. And then just people didn't want to follow the rules, and so I felt like I felt more cheated out of the fact that I lost my summer, my final free summer before, like, you know, I'm supposed to
Right.
go off into the, like, before I had my last semester and everything,
Yeah.
my last carefree summer. I lost that, and I hated that because, like, it wasn't so much the, like, going back to school that was a problem. It was just more of like I lost every opportunity I could to, you know, hang out with people. And not like I didn't hang out with people from time to time, but it was just in a far smaller capacity and excitement and, like, activity of what we are used to. Like, I haven't even
Yeah.
been to one thing I always loved doing over the summer is at least going once to Dave and Buster's. But I haven't been to Dave and Buster's
Ooh.
now for 2 years because of, like, 2 years
God,
because
yeah.
of just, like, everything that's been.
Mhm.
Guys, I cannot wait to get together and just blast particles with you guys. I swear to God. Like,
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No,
oh
I'm
my
I'm
God.
I'm very much hoping, like, I know for Astrid and me, like, we definitely want to meet up again, hang out, you know, when we get the chance, you know. But it, like,
Hugs and shots all around.
oh,
Mhm.
I'm down. And see, but
Hugs
like,
and shots. You know, speaking of shots, Sean and I, you know, my roommate,
yeah.
my boyfriend,
Yeah.
but
I was about to say. I
he,
was about to
No,
say.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
we recently got a book of different shots. You know, so it
Yeah.
came like it
Ooh.
came with a booklet on how to make different shots and how to layer them and everything, and it came with
Oh
four
wow.
shot glasses. And we
Oh,
literally
nice.
went, oh my God, we're so irresponsible. We went to the liquor store and bought, like, we're 21. Don't do this if you're not 21.
Yeah.
We're
This is the
prefacing
Mhm.
part of the
this.
show where we're gonna remind you all of us are 21 and over. So.
Yeah.
Legally, I am 20, well, I'm 22, but anyways,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
so we bought a whole bunch of different alcohols and we were gonna try them.
Yeah.
And we need to get good at it. So because when we all get together, we should, like, just
Yeah.
do some
Yeah.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah,
some
so just practice
tomfoolery, you
making.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just some
just keep
testing.
on
Some testing.
practicing. Yeah, just keep on practicing making drinks. I'm sure it's good. It'll go towards like a good cause.
I still
I'm
want to
sure.
get down to the point of where I can make some stuff for you guys and get it to work. You know, like, I've always wanted to make some shots, and that's something I've always looked into. We just never had, like, or I've just never
Okay.
had, like, any of the alcohol to actually
Oh
Right.
my God, wait.
life.
When we all get together, we should definitely do an anime drinking game, right? We should
Oh, I'm
all
down
watch
for that.
Ooh, interesting.
My Hero, and every time Bakugo says "dip," we should definitely take a shot.
Oh, I'm down for that.
We're gonna be on the floor. We're gonna be on the floor, but that's
Oh yeah.
fine because
Oh yeah.
this is post pandemic.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
and I would love to do that. I would love to just, like, you know, I would love to just meet up with. That's the thing. That's like the. I've only been able to maybe meet up with a handful of friends, right? Because of, like, pandemic, and most of it is, like, in very specific situations. Like, I'm able to meet up with one of my friends because they live really close by, and I can literally walk over to their house. And we both know
Mm,
we don't go anywhere. Like, we just literally don't leave our houses. And so we
mm.
hang out there, and, you know, I've met up with Javi a few times, but all we do is, like, grab food, come back to one of our places, hang out for a bit. That's it. Like, we're not
Yeah.
staying out.
I
And
actually got the chance to see one of our friends
Oh, really?
not recently, but like a month ago.
yeah, yeah.
And he tested negative for COVID. So we're like, "Oh, you can come
Nice.
over." And we implemented a hug blanket. So
Oh,
it's
that's
like a
really
freshly
cool.
washed blanket, and then we've kind of like
Yeah,
put it in between us, and then we hug each other like
Oh,
that.
that's so
yeah,
nice.
And you know, because, like, you know, sometimes you just need that,
yeah. Oh
like
no.
Absolutely, yeah.
platonic, like, friendship, you know?
Oh,
Like, you
I'm
just need
100%
that,
down
like,
for that. Yeah,
cuddling with your friends, holding hands,
Hmm.
and I thought it was so nice. Like, even my cat got in
Yeah.
there. It was super
oh, the
sweet.
cat makes it
Your
so much
cat.
But
better. The cat makes it
but I
so much
can't
better.
wait to just, like, see all you guys, like, high
Dude,
fives all around, you know?
dude,
Like,
Oh, we've
that is
already
definitely
made
something I
plans.
have.
Like, we've
Yeah.
already made plans. The Latino crew is going to Iron Age. That
Oh,
is
fuck
that is
absolutely.
not up
yeah.
for debate.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes, yes,
Like, now that
yes.
some
It's oh
areas are
my God.
starting. Okay, so I'm just gonna get into this topic real quick. Now that I think that, like, it's been a year and some areas are now literally starting to open up again. I have such mixed feelings on that
Mm,
because I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
glad it's opening up, but at the same time I'm like, are we really ready? Y'all seen how stupid we
Right.
are. Are we really ready?
Yeah.
At the same
I
time,
feel
it's
like
like, why are you opening? You
Yeah.
know?
I feel
Yeah,
like
no,
we're constantly
seriously.
caught. Like I feel like we're constantly caught in a cycle of opening and like closing down again, especially in
Yeah.
like our state as well.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. Like it always feels like, oh, 25, then 50. Now we're back to like like no indoor dining or anything like that. Now we're going back to like 25 and stuff like that. It's like
And no. And the
like
weirdest thing is, again, at the time of this recording, tomorrow we go back to 50.
it's so weird,
Tomorrow, like,
honestly.
our
It's
entire state
like
goes back to 50, and we're just like, I just look at it, I'm like, why? I'm like, why?
it's like
Okay.
for okay, here's my kind of take. I feel
Yeah.
like, and again, I'm not like a pathologist or anything like that, but like I feel like you only do that kind of thing where like you're like in like maybe double digits of like cases, let alone deaths. As of the time of this recording, Maryland recorded like 800 new cases yesterday. It's like, bruh, what are you
Mhm.
doing? It's like, why are you reopening places? Like, there's still new cases going on.
Yeah.
Like, I would understand if like there's like maybe double digit cases, but that's still kind of a risk factor, you know? But like, there are literally hundreds of people still getting the virus every day, like new cases, and you're reopening, like, you
Yeah.
know, you're reopening. It's like, dude, that doesn't make sense. Like, how does that even make sense
Make
at
it make
all?
sense, damn
See, and
it.
so
Honestly,
and so
yeah.
here's the thing I was about to say. We've had such a mentality flip too. A year ago it was, oh, I can't wait for us to open back up already. And now
Yeah.
it's just like, no, wait, don't open. Wait to open back up.
Yeah, because like that's the thing. Like I remember so vividly. Like you know, in the beginning of the pandemic, it's like we wanted to flatten the curve, but we haven't even bothered to flatten the curve, and we're still reopening. It's like it's so weird.
Like, our area
Like I don't
arguably
know.
has been better than a lot of the country. Like, we're still in, like, we
Yeah.
never got past that point where more than 50% of the state had COVID. Like, that's
Mm,
just stats that I've followed through the news. But
yeah.
and I look at that and I'm like, at first when I saw that, I'm like, okay, we can open up soon because we're actually doing better and smarter than the rest of the country. But then I
Yeah.
realized, no, we're
Hmm.
still having such a high amount of cases and problems. We
Yeah.
can't do this.
At this point, I'm just like, give me the fattest stimmy to stay home for a month and
God.
a half
Oh
Oh
straight,
my
my
god, no,
God. Yes.
seriously.
and let's flatten
Dude.
this curve, you know?
God. Again, not to get too political about it, but like you're not like they're not even going through the effort of like trying to get people to stay home. It's like go to work or die. It's like, bro, come on. Like give us
Mhm.
something to work with. Like
Yeah,
it's it's
no.
it's it's
No,
preposterous.
dead ass though. And I'm just like, I look at that, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me about this. There is so much left to do. And for me, like, I lost any and all job connections. Like, that was the other part I was going to bring up. That, like, when you asked about like how this
Yeah.
thing ended, I had literally job line, like, networks and everything set up that I had taken me
Yeah.
years to build. And they have been destroyed within this like last year because all of them are like, literally all these people who I thought had the most stable jobs and like consistent jobs now don't know if they have a job anymore. And then
Wow.
for me, everything went up in smoke for me. Like, I lost literally
Right.
all of it. And I thankfully graduated from college and everything, but after that I'm
Hmm.
just like, what do I do
What now?
now? Yeah. And it's been a struggle
Man,
for me to get a job.
that's yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can certainly relate to that as well. And it's difficult. It's very something difficult to attend to. It's like, you know, it honestly, yeah, no, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I will say it is terrible, and I shouldn't say much about it because I have a job, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think one of the greater perks of, pandemic and job hunting is interviews sometimes are done virtually. So from the
Hmm.
waist up, it's all business. It's all business. Waist
Yes,
waist down, it's
yes.
pajamas, it's shorts,
Oh
Oh my
I
it's
love
God,
that.
it's
absolutely.
whatever. Like
No, and
every
Yes.
single
it's
interview I did, it was it
yeah.
was I was in pajamas bottom half.
Yes.
Oh, it's really funny because I've seen like online Twitter posts about this, and it was one guy who took a picture of his girlfriend, and it's like top half is like blazer, blouse, all that stuff, business.
Hmm.
Bottom half,
Yeah.
no pants whatsoever. It's just her sitting in her underwear, and it's so funny to me. And then it's like there are other people you hear with their stories of just like they're like literally like Astrid's literally saying they're just hanging out in pajamas. They're just like, they're dressed like they're supposed to be at work, and then the other half is like, clearly I'm at home and just relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like, and you know, not to get too controversial here, I feel like this pandemic has really shown who was meant to be a parent, who was meant to be a parent, and who was not meant to reproduce.
Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, no,
Hot
because like
takes.
that.
I will say this pandemic has definitely made it easier to point out who was ready to be a parent and who wasn't ready to be a parent. Because
I mean,
you know, no, go ahead.
no, you finish. You finish.
I think that, I think it's hard to say like, bad parents or not, but you could definitely tell like some people were definitely just relying on schools to educate their kids and not
Yes.
doing like at home educating,
Yeah, it wasn't even just like that. It's like okay, there's a certain, I will give a certain level of leeway, and like, you know, people can't being around each other for just too long and not having that break of like, you know, commuting to work, get at work and stuff, of like giving you that time to kind of like decompress from your family and stuff and then come back to, okay, I will give you some of that leeway.
Right.
But then then when you have people who are forcibly advocating for like schools to reopen or daycares to reopen or all that stuff, just so they don't have to look after their kids anymore, really, in my book, shows like you were not meant to be a parent. You are someone who clearly is not caring.
No, I absolutely agree with that. I agree with Whiff on the fact that like, seeing school as like a crutch for like, as a, as almost like a placeholder for like actually raising your children, absolutely is not something. Is like it's almost kind of despicable in my opinion, because like it's taking a lot of the way of shoulders of a decision you kind of made. But at the same time, it's like the pandemic is something that like nobody was really prepared for. Like I would, the majority of the country was not prepared for the pandemic. So I agree. Yeah, people who say like who are advocating for school to open just so they don't have to deal with their kids or something like that, or so that like it's like, so they don't have to deal with that. Like I agree, that's kind of a shitty thing to do. But at the same time, like it's genuinely like an important like resource for some people. Like some people genuinely cannot like provide for their children.
That's where I say like people who are heavily advocating, like who were doing it just for the sole reason they don't have to watch their kids anymore. I get it. There are parents.
Yeah.
There are parents who, you know, live paycheck to paycheck and they literally cannot afford to watch their kids because they're off, you know, working. I get that. That is 100% valid in my book. But if you are a stay-at-home mom who is forcing schools to reopen because you don't want to deal with your kids, that is 100% on you. Don't throw that on someone else.
Yeah, no.
You know, the last thing I really thought about was homeschoolers. You know, like
Yeah.
they had no shift whatsoever in their daily life.
Not at all. Not a single shift.
Hold up, but if speaking to the people who are listening to this, if you are a homeschooler, put in the comment box wherever this is going. I'm pretty sure it's just YouTube.
Yeah, the YouTubes.
If this is like the links posted on Twitter, put it in the comments. But like, how did this affect your daily life? Like I'm not sure what homeschoolers do. Like I don't know if they go like they're just schooled at home and then they go to a center to take exams. Like I don't know.
So
I'm not knowledgeable, but I want to know.
You know, we have a friend who was homeschooled too. We have a friend.
Yeah, but not during the pandemic.
No, I know, but that's what I'm wondering now that you bring that up. I'm like, literally, if we ask them, hey, did you kind of like have like a nostalgia trip, or did your mind adapt very quickly to like, you know, kind of switching back to just kind of always being at home? Like it makes me wonder, like, did they just get used to it a lot quicker than everyone else did, or did they did it struggle just as much as we did?
Yeah, leave a comment down below.
And on that note, I think that's a great place to wrap up for today. You know, thank you so much, Astrid, for being on the podcast today. It is always so much fun having you on.
I really enjoy like just talking, you know, because this is also like I use this also as a time to interact with friends, you know.
No, seriously, I agree. This is a good way to just de-stress.
This is really sweet. Tune in to episode 50 where we talk about my horse.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's That's what episode 50 has to be now.
Yeah,
Zach,
you
do
know,
you agree?
yeah, no, we're marking it right now. Everyone can call us out on it if we don't do this. Episode 50.
Episode 51 is my hoarding problem, and that's when we talk about my lack of time management.
Oh my god.
Oh, bruh.
Oh my god.
No,
Like,
Jones.
no, but like seriously, if you want to come back for episode 50 and we talk about hoarding, oh, I got topics for that too. Like, I got all of this stuff.
Same. I've
Yeah.
watched almost every season of Hoarders.
Oh my gosh, but no, seriously with that, like, Astrid, it is always so much fun having you on. And we definitely will make that conspiracy theory episode in the future. We are going to
Absolutely.
tackle that,
Yeah.
where we just talk conspiracy. Like, you guys can quote us on that. I don't know when it's going to happen. No.
Because this is unscheduled.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. She gets
There you
it.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she gets it.
Yeah.
And, you know, when it does happen, we're going to have our conspiracy theory. We will have it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Thank you guys again so much for being out today again, to both Astrid and Javi. You know, it's always so much fun doing this. So
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
all
No,
the time.
yeah.
Anything you want to plug real quick before we go, or
My email business, you know, hit me up on Twitter. That's at BUNBUNBYUN. That's pretty much it. That's all I have to plug. If you just want tea, you could also hit me up there. But yeah, I post a lot of memes about, you know, big titty goth GFs. So if you really like that kind of content, I'm the Twitter user for you.
oh yeah, and you know where to find Javi and I. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in for this episode. You know, we'll be back. Who knows when? It's unscheduled. Have a great day, everyone, or night. You know. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.